Okay, so welcome to the first in our series of lessons in magic. Um, and today we're going to be looking at the problem with playing cards. And This isn't like oh my gosh, playing cards are bad. We shouldn't do anything with playing cards. No, no, this is just, I'm going to look at them from kind of a technical perspective and try to give some insights into the nature of playing cards and sort of why, from a you know theoretical perspective, you don't really want to um, use them to do magic. And it's a specific kind of magic. I'm not talking about prestidigitation. I'm not talking about sleight of hand. I'm not talking about the type of card magic that you see where people shuffle cards and they can do all kinds of interesting tricks, or pull a card out of and show you your stuff. That's all really impressive. That's all kind of like number magic or precision magic. And so all that stuff, I totally appreciate, and I don't have the ability to do that. My fingers won't allow me to do prestidigitation style magic. And so that's not what I'm going to be covering here today. And I have none of the comments that I'm going to be making have anything to do with or are aimed at anybody who does anything like that. I appreciate all you guys. You guys are doing an amazing job out there. Keep doing what you're doing. Okay. What we're talking about today is the other kind of magic that people like to do with playing cards, which is sometimes it's tempting to tell yourself stories with playing cards. And not everybody understands or knows how to tell themselves stories, or how people even do tell themselves stories with playing cards. Uh, some people call it counting cards. Um, Counting cards is also a system that goes even further. When you're talking about counting cards, you could actually do that almost like a computer if you were smart enough to actually sit down and do that. But I'm going to explain, just from even just an aesthetic or a symbolic perspective, why you don't actually want to or need to do that with a deck of cards, which is count cards, or try to gamble, or try to bet against the odds, or something like that, which is what most people do with playing cards, right? And so that's what we're going to be discussing today. All right. Um, and just to be clear, I like using playing cards to play games. To play games, right? You play hearts, rummy, pick up four, go fish, whatever the game is that you like to play. I have zero problem with that, right? It's when you take it and you start gambling with a deck of cards, because it's not that the problem is in the deck itself. It's just that the deck is a system. And if you're gonna, I'll give you two examples. You're gonna play against the casino or somebody else. If they know the system, then they know how to play the system and they know how to play you. And so if you're limiting yourself to just playing within that system, the odds are against you, right? You're playing against the odds, which is not something you want to do, right? And I would even go so far as to say that it's even hidden in the symbolism right on the deck, right on the front of the playing card. Because here we have a lady, right? Sometimes she's known as Victory, Liberty, right? She's supposed to have a laurel wreath in one hand, right? Which is supposed to represent, I believe, uh, like she's giving you something, like uh, it's like peace, right? It's an offering, right? And on the other hand, she is, sometimes it said it's supposed to be shafts of wheat, but to me it looks like a sword, and the sword means truth, right? But she's got it sheathed, right? So she's not trying to attack you with it. But what it represents is each of those sides of her, it's like something that like could offer you the thing that you want, but it could also offer you the thing that you don't want. It depends on what you ask, right? It's those two questions that you're asking her. But the thing that you're missing, if you're asking the questions, is that you don't even want to ask the questions. The thing that you want is her in the middle, right? She's the ideal. She is the thing that you're going towards, right? She is the pinnacle, the last thing, right? At the top of the structure, right? She's actually the thing that you love, right? But she's at the top of it. She's at the top of the structure and she's up on a pedestal, right? Because she's the thing that you want. She's the thing. Victory is the thing that you actually want. You want to walk through the middle. You don't want to ask either of the questions. The questions are just helping you to figure out how to get to victory, right? But if you already know that the thing that you want is in the middle and you don't need to ask the questions, that means is you don't even need to play the cards in the first place, right? Because when you ask the questions, that's what you're doing. You're gambling. You're saying you're gambling either against yourself, the universe. You could say you're gambling against God, right? You're saying, well, I know that the odds are stacked against me, right? But what if I try to do something in this direction, right? Or what if I know I'm trying to do something in this direction, and you try to calculate, right, where it is that you're going to go, right? The thing you want is actually in the middle, right? It's actually it's already inside you. You don't need to gamble. You don't need to like ask the question and risk losing something for nothing, right? If you already have victory and your life is complete and everything's organized and it's all together, you don't even need to gamble in the first place. And so just before we go, the last three things that I can say about a deck of playing cards. Single deck. It's in imbalance. It's an imbalanced deck because one person, if they know what they're doing, they can read it like a story. And they can make the story tell you or tell them whatever they want, right? That's how you get hustled. You get hustled by somebody who knows how to read the story with one deck, right? That's why casinos put a whole bunch of decks all together and make it harder for you to figure out what the story is. The story is so jumbled at that point you can't even tell what it is anymore, right? But that's why you never wanted to play against somebody who had just a single deck of cards, because if they knew what they were doing, right, and you didn't, right, then they know everything, right? And that's why this deck with two is actually a set, right? And they sell you a set, they sell you two different colors too, so that you can't mark one set and turn it into a cheating set of one deck color, right? That's at least what I believe why they do that. I'll just show you here the blue version through the package because she's my favorite. I like the blue version because blue is my favorite color. So, you know what I mean? Since 1885, huh? And so if this is not imbalanced and this is balanced, right? I have everything is in here. Everything is organized. I don't have to ask it any questions, you know? So my magic, I'm complete. I don't have to do anything. I don't have to ask it anything, you know? But there is one last thing I could show you inside a deck of playing cards, and so that's why I have this one. This is my set. This one I borrowed off my mom. So I'm not technically going into mine, okay? But I'm going to try to open this up here. This is the brand new set. Okay. That's satisfying. Sorry, had to do it. And I'm going to have to open this. Best to open it. I don't want to go too crazy here, but this is the easiest thing I've got next to me. Sorry, guys. So that's what we're gonna use. Come on. Don't want to nick it. Oh. There we go. Okay. It's our deck of playing cards. I don't even like breaking the package when I try to open them, man. Try to get it out with doing that, but that's what we do. All right. So the one thing that everybody forgets, I believe these are instructional cards, so we don't even need those. Those are advertising. Here's our deck of cards. Ooh, the nice blue background. I love blue. Blue is my favorite color, guys. Okay? I'm not even a good magician. But this is the thing that everybody forgets. These two guys right here. Everybody knows about the queen, right? The lady that we all love, the one that we all want, right? The pinnacle, right? Everybody knows her, right? And that's the set that you play with when you play, right? And you gamble. They take out these two. You call them random chance, right? And good luck, or bad luck, or bad chance, or however you could even have them like this. For all intents and purposes, if they're wild cards, they could be anything. You could have anything on it, right? But what these two cards do is it means that now the story gets broken. It means that now the deck can't tell a single set of stories. It can tell all kinds of stories. That's kind of like real life. Real life has random chance and good luck in it. Whereas when you go and you play cards and you gamble, right, and you gamble against the odds, yourself, and against God and all against nature and the universe and everything, right? By saying, maybe I think I know better than this or that. And you know what I mean? And I'm not just gonna do what I'm supposed to do and walk down the middle, right? You always forget about these two characters that show up every once in a while, where it's like sometimes something good happens. Random chance you bump into somebody you haven't seen in forever, and they can help you out with something that you didn't even know that they would be able to help you out with, right? Or random chance you run into somebody, and you know what I mean. This is from the perspective of the other side of the table when somebody else has this card, right? Random chance, things don't work out so well for you because all of a sudden something out of nowhere came along, changed everything for you, right? But then you also have good luck. You have good luck, which means that, like, well, maybe random chance happens over there. Maybe random chance happens something, you know what I mean? Sometimes you can also have good luck, too, doing all kinds of stuff. And so then where are you in life? Where are you in life if you don't have random chance and good luck? Two most magical parts of life that can help you out sometimes in the most magical ways. And you have no idea, right? That's the problem with playing cards. That's the problem with betting against the odds and gambling and all that kind of stuff, is that that's just a system. And if you try to read the system and you try to base your whole existence or your life off of a system like that, it's like you're going to run into these every time. That's one thing that's going to happen, right? Because in the real world, you have these. The real world isn't the system, right? Also, the system, once you bind yourself to that and you're like, I have to follow what the system tells me. I have to go and chase down whatever the thing is that I need next, because that's what the system is telling me I need to do. You the system is, it's like you're no longer like a master of the cards. The cards have become your master at that point, right? You're bound to them. You're not using them to tell you something useful about yourself, which is that you already know everything you need to know in the universe and you don't need to ask it any questions. You're using it to gamble. You hedge your bets against the universe too, right? That's not a good position to be in. Okay. And so this is just a very basic, simple lesson, right? And why you don't want to just believe your own system or what you think the cards are telling you at any given moment, because the cards are always going to tell you something that you think that the cards are telling you. You ask it a question and it could be, how's my relationship going with X, Y, and Z, so and so, right? My boss, coworker, wife, husband, partner, whatever, right? My dog, how's my relationship going with my dog or cat, right? But the cards don't know that. The cards are just cards. Cards could be telling you how you feel about chocolate milkshakes instead, right? You're asking it about how you feel about your cat and dog, and the cards are actually trying to tell you, oh, by the way, you know, chocolate not your favorite flavor. You should try something else. Who knows? Who knows? Because what you're doing is you're putting your own story onto the cards. But the cards are just cards, right? And if you're not paying attention to these two jokers, these two, they'll get you every time. Okay? So that's why I don't like doing playing card magic, right? I don't like gambling against the odds. I don't like hedging my bets against things, right? It's like I like believing in myself. That's the important thing. Okay? So that's lesson number one in magic. Okay? So hope you guys enjoyed that. We're going to be continuing on with the series here on the channel, and lots more to come as we continue. So hope you're having a good day, and we'll see you for the next one.